for me, you 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 for me.
What's good? It's your girl Minnie.
It's your girl Coco.
And we are back with another.
I know. So today we have something pretty interesting to talk about. We had a game night at a friend's house where, you know, we got into a hot and steamy debate about whether, well, not whether or not anything, but the discussion was pretty much what's the least you can do on the first date. Not as, there wasn't no specific role, so it's not as a woman or as a man, but just in general, if you're the opposite person and y'all are going on a date, what's the least that person can do?
No, it said what's the least a man could do, I think.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, I thought it was just, well, shit. Yeah, what's the least a man can do?
So, alright, these were the options. It was like, this is not in order. One was pay for the date, dress nice, send a text or call just like asking if like the woman got home safely, and then shit. I can't remember.
It was dress nice. Oh, pay for the date.
No, I think I said that.
Pay for the date, dress nice. See if she made it home.
Whatever, it'll come to us. Anywho,
yeah,
it was something like that. Y'all get the idea.
Exactly.
So once we're playing a card game, and once this card came up, and this was just like, and there was no right answer. It was black card revoked. There was no right answer. It was kind of like majority rules. And once that card came out, like shit got crazy. Like everybody was yelling. And it's so funny because there was so many people that's kind of like quiet and like, but everybody started talking. Like everybody had something to say. So I'm gonna say what I believed. I thought what I picked was, I said I believe that the person, the male, if I would have went on a date, should have asked if I got home safely, because when I'm going on a first date, and like it didn't say like on a first date of like a first like dinner date or whatever, it just said first date. So for me, I'm kind of like, okay, if in my head, if it is a dinner date or whatever the case may be, and if I'm just meeting you, I don't assume or think that a man is supposed to pay for me. Like if it's a first date, I'm kind of like, I'm going in there with the idea of like, okay, we are going to go half, or I am going to pay for my meal, which means I got money on me. And I'm kind of like, okay, the other options didn't really make sense. If you're gonna dress, I don't really care if you dress nice, because everybody got their own style. You could think you dress nice, but I could think you look busted, so I'm not gonna judge you on that. Like, I'm there for your personality, if anything. And also, I don't want you to pay and think that you owe me something later.
True.
So yeah,
me, I personally said, in my opinion, was not one of, my opinion was like somewhat people were in agreement, but more people felt one of the other ones was like the most important. For me personally though, I think that the least you can do is come presentable. And the reason I feel like you should come presentable is like, if you want me to take you serious, or you want this to be a first date at that, like I need you to look the part, because I know as a woman you gonna want me to look the part. So don't come with me, like don't come to me when you just got out of work. I respect a working man, but in that case, if you just got out of work and we had a date, you needed to cancel. That was a valid reason why your ass needed to go home, shower, change, do whatever, and we can reschedule. But for me, I feel like that's the least you can do, because at least if you look good, I'm gonna feel good while I'm entertaining you for whatever time that we're together. But we had a lot of people who felt like the date should have been paid for. That should have been the first thing, like that was the most important thing to them. A lot of females did say like, the least you can do is pay for my meal. I feel like that's a typical thing though, no bullshit. Like I feel like if a man invites you out on a date, most of the time he does pay, so that's common sense. But two, I feel like that's a typical thing for a woman to want also. It's like, oh, I want a free meal, let me just make sure he covers it. But the reason I feel like it was important for me for you to look presentable is because I feel like at the end of the day, I can pay for my own meal. If you pay for it, great. If you don't, that'll also show you that I'm not a female looking for money or looking for you to take me out. I really do need a nigga to be solid and to do other things. And I feel like her point was valid too. Because I feel like shit, you should be checking on somebody to see if they make it home. But the reason that wasn't my first thing was because you may have cases where somebody, y'all don't hit it off, or they say some wild shit while y'all out at dinner. Nigga, I don't even want you to call me or make sure I made it home. We're done. Like, once we leave here, you go your way, I go my way. But you should at least come presentable, because that's the first thing I'm going to see is you walking up to me. The conversation after that is what's going to lead to the whether or not I should call you, you should call me, we should meet again, or if you even want to pay for the meal. I might not even stay for dinner.
That's real. I feel like if it's not, if I come in and I got my own money and I can pay for my own shit, it don't matter how the hell you come dressed. If you just busted as fuck, I'd be like, look, it doesn't. Or even if you, and the thing is, I'm not gonna like, if we met somewhere and you was really eager to meet up, and like time wasn't on your side, so you wasn't able to look your best, but you really wanted to come, you didn't want to cancel, I'll take that into consideration. So I'm like, okay. And if he's like, you know what, this is not really my best, like whatever, I'll be like, okay, I'll let your personality and other things speak. But if your personality and your gestures and other things don't match up, then hell no. Like, it works out that I pay for my own shit, because you're not gonna be like, oh well, I paid, so when we gonna meet next? Like, hell no.
Right, like a paid meal don't mean shit about meeting next. That just means that that was your initiative to show me that you could wine and dine me, you could take me out, we could have a good time. But I mean, paying for something really does not mean anything, because like I said, there's typical things in relationships or getting to know people in the beginning, and that's one of them. A nigga think he paid for a meal, you owe him something, or like, you know,
now y'all gotta meet up
now
next.
we gotta
like,
link
no.
up again. Like, you owe me. Like, why do I owe you for you treating me like a lady?
No.
I don't get that at all. That's why I don't even really like for me to, like, I don't mind going out on a date and somebody's taking me out and they're paying for the meal, but I prefer it usually to be somebody I already know, somebody that I'm invested in a little bit, because I feel like it's more like likely that I'm not going to have an issue with this person, and it's not going to be a problem that they covered my meal. When it's going in fresh and it's somebody new, I might not even like you, and I don't like to feel like I'm using somebody, so I like for me to pay for my portion of the meal, because I don't want to have to run into anything. Like, we can go Dutch, we can split it, we can whatever, because I don't want to have to run into, damn, I actually didn't even really like this person, he's really sweet, but he's not my type, or there's things that I really can't get with, and now I just feel like, damn, he spent $150 on our meal, he got really dressed up and everything, and he's into me and I'm not into him. It really does kind of make me feel uncomfortable for someone to go through that. So I kind of feel a little bit more at ease when I say, hey, I'll split the bill with you, because then it makes it easier for me to be like, okay, this actually wasn't something that I'm interested in moving further in, so, you know, let me at least pay for my portion so it's not fucked up. We just went on a date, we got to know each other, but it didn't work.
But can you imagine you went on a first date and like they're just up all nice, and then you paid for your meal, or like he paid for you, and then he's just like, all right, well, you know, I came in here looking nice, I did everything, you didn't call me back, or you didn't get into the text, and then like you're out at the store, and then a random person come up to you looking all crazy, and then he's not dressed up so you can't tell what he looked like, and then he's like, oh bitch, remember I paid for your meal? Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I wouldn't want that shit to happen,
But that's how people are though.
yeah, they are, but that's why I try to be real straightforward with people when it comes to certain things, because I'm really a sensitive person. I don't like people to play on my time, so I'm very sensitive with how it may, especially when it's a sweet guy. Like, I don't like to fuck with sweet people, because those be the people that you turn into the demons, turn into devils. Females treat them so bad, or use them and stuff, and then eventually they become that dude that's just looking for some ass. Like, oh, I'm about to take her out to eat, and then I'm gonna get what I can get. Like, I really try to take into consideration, like, you know what, this person was really nice, I'm really kind of not interested, something about them just wasn't there for me. I'm gonna pay for my meal, and I'm gonna let it be known, like, you know what, like, I don't know, I find ways out of shit. I ain't gonna front. I might tell you, like, right now is not the time, I'm really just not invested in this, I have a lot going on, but I'm gonna let you know something in the beginning that tells you, like, you know what, she's not gonna be the one, or she's not gonna be the one to hit me back, because I definitely don't like to leave people on, have them waiting. Like, you texting me every day and I'm responding, but then when you want to chill, I'm just dodging you. No, like, that's, no, I hate shit like that. Like, I'm not gonna dodge you. Like, I prefer to tell you, because shit, you know how bad that feels? Like, And then I don't know how other females don't even be feeling bad, but I be like, yo, this person's really blowing me up. Like, nigga, like, yeah, like you ain't get the point yet. But then again, you have to say to yourself, like, damn, did you make the point clear?
That's real.
True. But so that was like the whole.
That's like first date,
right?
First date, and I feel like people's getting confused. That's the first date. You meet a stranger,
right? But what happens in the cases of, like, someone goes out on a first date? Does a female need to ask whether or not she should order certain things, or she can, like, you know, whether or not she can explore the menu, or does she have like a restriction? Should she ask the man beforehand, like, hey, can I get this, can I get that, or what's the budget, or anything? Or should she just order? Like, do you feel naturally you should go on a date and you should just order?
Is this a first date?
I don't know.
A first date, yeah, I'm gonna order what I want, because like I said, if I have an idea, like, I think it's important for all women to bring money on a first date, because you shouldn't expect that a guy's gonna pay, even if he's expecting that he's gonna pay. And this is like law of life, like for women, you should always have like money if you for a first date to cover your own shit. You shouldn't go out expecting a meal, because if he hits you like, okay, bitch, like, where's your money? You're gonna feel stupid that you just ordered the twin lobster. But I think if you do have your own money and you do expect to pay for your meal, you should be able to order what you want.
I definitely agree. I feel like the way I look at the situation is that if I am asked on a first date, I kind of do assume that someone's asking me, they're paying for my meal. But in my mind, like you said, I always carry money, because you just never know. And then two, I'm not asking no man what I can eat, because at the end of the day, I'm a fucking human being, and I like to, if there's things that I eat naturally, I'm not gonna deprive myself because somebody asked me on a date. I'm gonna eat and order what I want to order, and then if you can cover it, you can. If you cannot, then I have money to cover what I need to cover. But I'm not gonna sacrifice me eating properly or how I want to eat because I need to ask him whether or not he can afford it. You should have thought about that before we went on this date. Like, don't tell me, yo, oh, this is gonna be crazy. But I went on a date one time, no lie, I was in Alabama. I went on a date one time with this boy, and he was so pressed. No, this is funny, but it was really crazy, to the point where I was like, I lost my mind. He asked me on a date so many times that week. So many times that week. I'm like, nah, like, I'm busy. And then I didn't have the funds at the time. I was in college, y'all, you know, trying to scrounge up some change, eating ramen noodles and shit out of state. So I'm like, no, I don't have the funds right now. But he just kept saying to me, like, well, I'm taking us out. So, but I still, in my mind, because I didn't know him, and I didn't know him well enough to know that he would secure my meal, I wanted to at least make sure I had money in my pocket. So I waited. He kept asking. Eventually, I said, you know what? I'll go on a date with him at some point in time that week. He took me on the date. I swear to you, we went to Red Lobster. We get there. I haven't even thought to order yet. Before we even sit down, he tells me, oh, let's look at these deals. So I said, you know what, fuck it, it's Red Lobster. I only eat seafood anyway, so how can he go wrong with the deals? Something on there has to be, you know, seafood. But I look at the meals, and they're like, the meals that he were looking at were the 3-course meal. So it was like an entree, an appetizer, and a dessert. But he was looking at those meals for us to split. On my life, no cross fingers, no nothing.
Was he in college too?
No, that nigga been graduated college. He was grown. He was much older than me.
He was like, oh, since you ain't got no money, we about to split this
But
shit.
I did not ask to go on this date, and I told you several times that week, I do not have the funds to do it. I'd rather wait, but you were so pressed to take me out. We get there. Bitch, how about I said, you know what, I'm not splitting no fucking 3-course meal with you when the meal's not even going to be enough to cover you. You're a grown-ass, growing man, and you're hungry as hell. I know you're going to eat that plate. Like, I'm not sharing no meal on no first date, and then you beg to take me out, and you didn't even have no money. He's like, oh, well, I only got $20, and if we do the 3-course, it's only $15. So I said to myself, I can't even get a drink? Like, and then where is the tip for the fucking waiter? Like, how you come in here with $20?
You gotta get
and
water.
Where's the tip? Yeah, okay, we do get water, but where's her tip? Because you have to keep in mind gratuity. I mean, not even gratuity. Sorry, I didn't mean to say gratuity. Tax. There's tax. So what tip are you leaving her?
Oh yeah,
on
in Alabama, it's mad taxes.
Right.
That bill was like $23.
So exactly. So I said to myself, I'm like, yo, did this boy really come in here with fucking $20 and told me once we got here, once we sat down, and then I had to pick his ass up in my car. So I'm like, hold the fuck up, bitch. You ain't even got no gas money for me, but you want to take me out to eat on $20. We were better off going to Red Robin. I could have got a full meal. You could have got a full meal, and we would have been straight. I could have got a drink, fries, endless fries at that, with my burger. You could have got your fucking burger or whatever else it is, but yet you wanted to be cute and go to Red Lobster on $20. That pissed me off to the core, and that really trained me from then. You are never gonna fucking go and order shit on somebody else's dime. You're gonna eat how you want to eat. If they cover it, they cover it. If they do not, they do not. But that was a lesson learned, ladies. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. $20, where was the tip? Like, that's the part I couldn't understand. Like, literally, I ate biscuits because I didn't want to eat the food. I was pissed. I ate biscuits. He ate the meal. He got the 3-course. I ate biscuits. Cheddar biscuits.
He really got the 3-course?
Many. Yes, he did. I was pissed. Did
he like offer, like when the appetizer
He did. Once the food came out, he did offer, but I told him, I'm like, I kind of made up some shit, like, oh, I really wasn't that hungry. That's why I agreed today, so that we could just go out and really talk or whatever. So just eat.
Don't be protecting no man's ego.
Yeah, but I just, like I said, I'm one of them people. Sometimes I'm a little sensitive, so I don't like to get into altercation. Plus, I'm like, I don't really know him that well. I don't want him to snap on me out while we out. But all I thought to myself was, damn, you begged me all week, and all week I was trying to do the considerate thing by saying no because I didn't have the money myself. So you keep asking me, and I finally decide to give in, and you take me out, and you still don't even have enough money for yourself. Not even just for me, but for yourself. And I know that people believe in that, oh, it's the thought that counts, and it's so caring for you to share a meal. But nah, that's some shit that goes down between me and my nigga. Somebody I've been with for some time. Like, I'm not about to go fucking share no meal with a nigga I just met. Like, no. If my boyfriend says to me, you know what, babe, I got the last shrimp, and we just ordered this small meal, and it was just like we're eating off each other, eating little things, like let's go in here and order a little something and split it. That's my man. I don't give a damn how broke he is. I'm gonna eat with him. But I'm not eating with no stranger like that. Like, you was better off ordering a pizza and saying let's stay and watch a Redbox. Like, I didn't understand. You could have got a whole fucking pizza. Yo, with $20, do you know what we could have done with $20? But that's my issue with men. Men do not think, not all men, but a lot of men do not think the way women think. They think like, oh, this bitch want to go on a date, she want to do this, I don't have funds to do this. It's like, y'all niggas ain't creative. Like, there's so much you could do with your money, but you end up thinking we want certain things and being mad at us. You take us out and do this shit, and it's like, you could have fucking did 13 things with the money we just spent, but you were complaining.
He was like, no, we're gonna go to Red Lobster because that's a good first date.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Because she doesn't have money, we'll split the meal.
And she can't say shit because she don't got no money.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're from Boston, so it's like Red Lobster. People down in the South love Red Lobster, and like, to me, I don't really care for the shit. I love the biscuits, the seafood. The food's trash to me. People that live down south and that are accustomed to that seafood think is the best shit. But it's like, if that was me, I would have been like, motherfucker, like, what? Like, no, we could have got a little. I would have been more happier with like a Pizza Hut or something.
Yep,
a Little Caesars. We could have got 2 for $10. Like, why are you playing me? Like,
nigga,
I would have been like
Domino's.
Not for real, but I would have been like, right, $7.99 for like 3. But it's like, you gonna like really have me out here? Like, do you know where I'm from? Like, with this trash ass seafood? Like, this is trash. Like, this ain't even real seafood.
Yo, but you really didn't only embarrass me, you embarrassed yourself. Like, that's the thing that killed me, was like, it wasn't just embarrassing for me, but to me, it's like, you had to have known that you embarrassed yourself. The woman comes, and first off, it's late. We ordering, but I'm not even ordering, and then I'm sure she's wondering like, okay, well, they both got waters, so by this time she's already putting it 2 and 2 together. Like, they both got waters. He ordered the 3 deal, and she didn't order anything, and she's eating biscuits, the free biscuits at that. So that must mean that I'm not getting a tip, because they obviously don't have the funds to cover a meal.
So how
That
did
shit,
it go?
bitch, there was no tip. And that's what pissed me off. I just got up and walked out. Because to me, it's like, how you come into an actual restaurant, like an actual restaurant, and you didn't even think to have no change. It's different. It's a difference in not, yo, I've been places before, don't let me front on here. I've been places before where I have not left a tip for people, but a lot of times that was back in my days of being immature and young, and then a lot of times that was either your customer service was not good enough for a tip, or even people who have bad, shitty ass customer service, I leave them a tip, but they ask it like $1, $2, $3. But for me to come in here, the lady greeted us properly, and this is an actual restaurant. This ain't fucking McDonald's. This ain't steak, shake, and fries, or whatever it is. Like, we actually came in here, an actual restaurant. She greeted us from the door, walked us to the table, asked us how our days are going, told us her name, brought out menus. She sat here politely and waited for you to think about the 3 things that you wanted on this funky ass menu, and she was polite enough to bring out warm biscuits and this, and this. And you mean to tell me you didn't have not a fucking dollar for this lady? Not a dollar? Because you were so concerned about taking me out. We, like I said, could have ordered pizza, went back and watched the fucking Red Box, or even if we didn't watch a Red Box, we could have went and walked downtown by the water, looked at some shit. We could have talked, got to know each other in different ways. But instead of that, you really wanted to go out to fucking eat. And at that point, I didn't know if it was like you just wanted to get out or you really wanted to take me out. Because to me, that wasn't thoughtful. Like, that shit was just embarrassing. And I was over it. And like I said, I was in college. So it's like, you know, everybody know the college struggle. You know, you trying to keep your little change, trying to do what you got to do. But, like, I would never go through that again. I'm always going to have some money on me if somebody's taking me out, unless you're my man. If you're my man, I know he's covering things. So it's like, I'm not going to trip. And then if he told me that, you know what, babe, today I'm taking you out, but all I got is whatever to cover this, I'm not going to be mad if my man told me that. If he told me that, you know what, this is what we eating today. I will eat fucking rice and beans if that's what he tell me we eating.
Hey,
like, shit. Nigga said, oh, can we get a side of plantains? That's it. Like, but that's the relationship you work with. You go through ups and downs, or you go through ins and outs, and you go through being broke moments and then building moments. Like, but not on no first date. I feel like you shouldn't even be on a first date if you're not able to afford the first date. You clearly you got other things to be worried about.
What she said. No, that's real.
That shit was crazy, girl.
No, that's real. So yeah, ladies, if you expect and have expectations that a man should pay for your meal because someone told you, like, look, a man should pay for the meal and a man should do this and pull out the seat and do this, by all means, live up to that. But however, you should still have some loot in your pocket, because when I think about me being in a relationship, like, I'm like, yeah, depending on the situation, I'd be like, yeah, I might get this, I might not, or can I get this, or can I get that? But
yeah,
on a first date, like, if you can't afford to go on a first date, I wouldn't go on a first date.
True.
If you can't cover your meal, don't go.
True.
Even if that person said that they're gonna take you out. If it's a stranger, if it's a person that you know, like, if I was like, alright, India, let's go, and you said I ain't got the money, I'd be like, bitch, I said let's go, like, you know what I mean? Then it is what it is, like,
right.
And I won't be like, oh well, fuck India because she didn't have money last time. But it's like, no, like, I'm saying my friend because we know each other, like, you know what I mean? We've been through those types of situations, like, we've been through high school, like, we was all sharing Arizonas and shit, like,
right.
So, like,
sharing A2s from the
yeah,
Chinese shop,
so
like,
we've been through that, like, and, you know, to be adults and, like, do certain things. But if you're out and you want to be courted, like, you need to, as a woman, have some backup.
It's true.
Have some whatever.
Always make sure that you're secured, because you don't want to be asked out, and trust me.
But, like, and you supposed to pay for my meal, like, no, I actually, and that's the thing too. It's like, people say, like, oh, well, I asked you to go out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I know you're really going to pay for my meal. Because I've been in situations where I got asked out, and I'd be like, you know, I assumed, and this was a person I was with at the time. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to take you out. don't worry about nothing, and then it'd be like, oh, you ain't got enough. Like, what the fuck you mean you ain't got enough? Because you already know my situation. Like, how the hell you taking us out?
Okay.
That don't make no
Where
damn
are we
sense.
going?
Who's paying for this right now? Like,
and then you end up not having enough.
So, and that was in a relationship. So, like,
so you know
was
a stranger will do it to you quick.
No,
and don't let their ass come in a separate car. Because you damn sure know that you need change at that point. You don't, people come in a separate car, they have the choice of getting up and walking the fuck away. Or they got enough to cover their money, cover their meal, and that's it. You ain't never gonna leave me, right, you ain't never gonna leave me assed out. Like, I'm gonna cover my shit, even if you gotta sit there with yours. Right. Like, I don't care what you do. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's just crazy. Like, first dates, I don't know how people put that much trust in people. I've seen people ask me to go somewhere, like, literally ask me to go somewhere, take me out. And I'm ending up not only paying for my shit, but they still short on theirs.
Exactly.
They see that I got a little change, so it's like, oh fuck that, I'm gonna up the steak size. I'm gonna up the steak size. She'll throw me 5 or 10 bills.
I'm gonna get a 12-ounce ribeye.
Right. I don't even eat fucking steak. How dare you?
Gosh, nah. Yeah, that is fucked. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's our message today. It's really crazy. Like, first dates can be. Yeah, you can go into that shit blinded if you ain't prepared. So always make sure, at least money is like the one thing that you know you need. I'm not going anywhere without my money.
Ride a girl, we can't get enough. I'm filled with soul when I thrust, shorty, that's power all in your smooth criminal attire with your desire, you want some love. I can get you much higher, ignite the fire, I got the wood. Will you be my PIT?